Hello, welcome back to Cascadia In Swinger. Today, Eddie and I are talking about phase two of the MLS schedule. As some of you may have noticed, phase one, the first 6 games since coming back from the summer tournament, were released and finished as of Wednesday. They will be finished. And phase two starts Friday. Seattle starts off with LAFC. Portland starts off with San Jose. We'll just start off with the next 3 games for Portland because they've released 3 games for each team. So Portland's 3 games are San Jose, at home against Seattle, and at home, in quotation marks, against Vancouver.
Because
We'll
it's
explain the
technically road
quotation
match.
marks. We'll explain the quotation marks later. Obviously, the most exciting match on this slate is the Seattle Portland one in Portland, but obviously that means nothing in the series.
Yeah, it definitely means nothing as history has showed as of late that the clubs are just winning on the road. Um, so home field advantage has been shown to not really mean much, um, especially with COVID going on, no fans. So it's really more of a neutral site, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to wait to see if they continue the streak of the away team winning in that matchup. So that's Portland's 3 games, San Jose, Seattle, and Vancouver, which is cool because they get 2 Cascadia matchups. And I know that Portland fans are going to be really excited about that. Those are always fun, lively matchups. Seattle, on the other hand, they get the LA duo. They have LAFC to start the 3 game set, Portland in the middle, and then they get the LA Galaxy at the end of the set, which I always love Seattle LA games. They're always fun, no matter which LA team it is. Chicharito is back, so that's an exciting game to look out for. And I'm really, really excited to see how these next 3 games go for the Sounders.
It will definitely be interesting. Seeing both LA squads, uh, both have turned into rivalries for the Sounders. So you're really looking at 3 straight matches of rivalry games for Seattle, and that's definitely going to be a tough way to continue the season.
It's not an easy schedule. I see those games. Any team can win those games. There's no walk in the park. There's no San Jose's. There's no Vancouver's. There's no Colorado's for Seattle to play through. So it's really high intensity soccer for the next 3 games for Seattle, and that's what makes it really fun. Now we'll head up to Vancouver and their 3 games. They will play at at RSL, and they will play at LAFC, and then they will play at Portland. And this is where we're going to get to this. So it is listed as a home game for Vancouver because Vancouver gets to have a home game during this 3 game stretch. But since they cannot play in Vancouver, they're playing in Portland. I've got an issue with this because the other 2 Canadian teams have to do the same thing. They're playing on a neutral site. Eddie, why is Portland and Vancouver not on a neutral site?
I have no clue. This match, in my eyes, should definitely be played in Seattle. Split the difference for the 2 clubs, and just play in Seattle. It's it's not ideal for the clubs, but at least make it so Vancouver's playing as close to home as possible. And it just doesn't make sense to call it a home game for Vancouver when they're playing at Portland against Portland. It's you're you're taking away a home game from Vancouver.
And giving Portland an extra home game because this goes in Portland's schedule. It counts as one of their road games, but they're essentially playing at home. So Portland benefits from this. Vancouver doesn't. And the logic, and I really love to be in the decision making room when they make these decisions because the logic doesn't make sense. You look at Montreal and you look at Toronto, and I don't remember exactly who they're playing against, but I know that Montreal is playing at Red Bull Arena, and I do remember who they're playing against. They're playing against Philadelphia Union at Red Bull Arena. That's a neutral site. They're not playing the New York Red Bulls at Red Bull Arena, calling it a Montreal game. Then you look at Toronto. Toronto is playing, I can't remember which team, Columbus. I think it's Columbus. They're playing Columbus Crew in Connecticut at a neutral site. So why the East Coast teams get neutral sites and Vancouver doesn't, I want to hear what the logic is. It's not that there isn't stadiums, because CenturyLink is right there. Okay, maybe the Seahawks are playing and they couldn't get the schedule meshed in with the Sounders and the Seahawks both already playing there. Fine. But you have the Tacoma Defiance Stadium. They could have always played there. They could have even gone down to San Jose to play. But any option is better than playing in Portland.
Yeah, I actually just looked it up, and the Seahawks do have a home game on the 27th against Dallas. Not that we care about that, but the point is, CenturyLink Field is going to be occupied on the day of that match. But as you said, they could be playing down in Tacoma at the Defiance Stadium, or they could maybe go down to San Jose and play at that stadium. I mean, even if there's a match going on there, they can play back-to-back matches on the same field. It's not unheard of for multiple matches to be played back-to-back on the same field.
Right. Absolutely not. And I hope Vancouver is at least being vocal about how this isn't right. I hope that they get to pump their crowd noise in at least. And at the very end of the day, it will be really fun for Vancouver fans to say, we played as the home team on your field. Like that is kind of funny to say that has happened. There
is a part of me. I know we're supposed to be remaining neutral for all of our clubs in Cascadia, and as always, I do love all of our clubs in Cascadia. But for how everything's playing out for Vancouver, I can't help but root for Vancouver in this one, knowing how screwed they are coming into this match out of a home match.
Yeah, it's definitely not helping their case to make a playoff push, which we already are doubtful they're going to do anyway. But I hope they get Vancouver sound noise. I hope that they make it at least try to feel somewhat at home for them. Obviously, they're not going to give Vancouver the home locker room. They're going to have to.
I would be interested to see if they did take the home locker room.
No, there's no way. No way that Toronto or the Timbers would let Vancouver take their locker room.
Vancouver probably wouldn't want it anyways because it's very Portland. It's made for Portland.
Right. It is made for Portland. Anyway, I'm curious. That was the main talking point for these three games that really stood out. I want to know from the Vancouver fans, how are you feeling about playing a home game in Portland? And are you kind of like joking about the fact that you get to do that? Like, haha, like we get to play at your stadium and be the home team? Or is it like a stab in the back that you have to play a home game at their stadium? I'm really curious. If we have any Vancouver fans, I'd love to hear the comments on that. Any other words, Eddie?
No, I think that's going to be about it for me. Pretty much it's all straightforward for the schedule. They did say that there will be another set of matches coming out for phase 2, so be ready for that show when that is announced. Other than that, I'm ready to just say go Cascadia.
Yeah, phase 2 was supposed to be 6 games, so they've only announced half of it to the end of September. So definitely another part. And you said it once already. I'll say it again. Go Cascadia.